Welcome to Real Quick with Gino Giovanni. On Tuesday, the 1st of December, 2020 has one more month. Bear with me. Let's get started. Do you have a morning routine? For the last 3 years, I get up and make sure to set my mind right for the rest of the day. I stop all the negative thinking. I do not dare take a look at my phone or computer devices for at least 20 minutes. And I make sure my body is hydrated or has nutrients. It's a good way to prepare myself to stay positive throughout the day. We all get through pitfalls and roadblocks in life, just like our president in his day-to-day to expose the truth. We need to be honest with ourselves and realize our shortcomings to get over any hurdles, to be a person, not just for ourselves, but for society. Now let's get into the rundown. President Trump's legal team met in Arizona yesterday with the GOP legislature and county judges. The state Republicans were granted to review 100 at random mail-in ballots envelopes and selection of ballots that were duplicated from originals. The judge thought to cap it at a sample size of 100, and the state Democrats thought that it was a, quote, dangerous precedent. 2, the state of Georgia has already had a request for 89,000 mail-in ballots for the January runoff for 2 Senate seats. And 3, at a lighter side of things, Deadpool 3 will be released under the 20th Century Fox brand like before and not under Disney or Marvel Studios. That's the rundown. How long will the legacy media and now big tech censor the truth away from the American people? I remember back in the 1990s when the conservative radio talk show host Rush Limbaugh called out media bias in favor of Democrats. It was a new concept. No one seemed to have realized it before. The nightly legacy news channels like ABC, NBC, and CBS always put Democrats in a better light than Republicans. Or perhaps America was not seeing or reading about stories that only talk radio would tell the listening audience. Then came Fox News in 1996. It paved the way for Americans to see both sides of a story and get a full enough spectrum to make up our own minds. It was the way news should have been. Then competition came along and saw that conservative Americans were flocking to FNC in drones. It was stealing audiences from the then biased media. So came MSNBC and CNN, which was the very first of its kind, eventually decided to cater to a left-leaning audience. Thus, the political divide was being created in America, and now you had to pick a side. So many years and decades later, we have come to a point where I think half the country knows they are being lied to by the news media. CNN, MSNBC, all the legacy media, and possibly now Fox News is dishing out fake news and props up Democrats and continues to demonize Republicans. And now the followers are not just the GOP, but the President Trump and his followers. The rise of big tech is not helping either, as the internet started out as a venue for free thinking and thought, much like our schools of higher learning, I would think. Now, if you post favorable about Republicans, on social media that is, then you're censored. You can be a liberal and expose the truth about the lies and hypocrisy about the left and the Democrat Party, and you're censored or put in Facebook jail, or demonized by online mob people on Twitter who sit at their keyboards and find fights to pick. Does anyone else like the current state of affairs? I don't. And how much longer will we have to fight this mess? Is it part of being American? Is that we must keep fighting every day for our lives for our freedom, which others fought for us hundreds of years ago. There's a part of the country that leans left on the political spectrum, and that has been taught to demonize its opposition. There are the same type of people who will say to me and people on the right that we are brainwashed. Yes, that's right. We are brainwashed for free thinking and seeing the glass half full instead of half empty. We took the red pill instead of the blue and got out of Wonderland. It used to be liberals were the free thinkers, and now so little of them are around. Some have even had the far left attack them for saying what they think. There is a lot I can say about the subject, but the show is real quick, and I'll be talking more about this topic as we keep going along. As annoying as it is talking about, enough Americans are still in the dark about what really is going on with this country. At least half of Americans have seen the light, even on the side of the Democrats. And now they understand we live in a country where free speech is censored, we are not given the full news story, and political pundits on cable news have created a wedge between our fellow Americans. The solution? We need to tune out the legacy media and big tech to make this nation how it used to be, and not so political violent, and not such a political violent country where you can talk about your ideas openly and not be censored. We'll be right back after this. As we conclude today's podcast, I want to hear from you, the listener. Go to anchor.fm/Real Quick with Gino Giovanni and leave me a voicemail about the show or comment with a question or a question. You can also do the same on our SoundCloud page and YouTube channel, Gino Giovanni Presents. I'm on just about all social media, including Parler, which is getting a lot of subscribers since the election. You can tune into our podcast on all major podcast platforms. You have been listening to Real Quick with Gino Giovanni. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day, and God bless you.